Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today, since it's Sunday, I thought we'd talk about appreciate what's going right in your life. So it's so easy to get caught up in seeing life through a filter of negativity and only focusing on the bad parts, right? It seems like our default. We just do that. Sometimes we tend to just always think about what's going wrong with our lives, what gets us riled up, and what we hate. And many people like to indulge these thoughts and complain about these things to their friends and coworkers, and either in person or you see a lot of it on social media. Right? Woe is me, FML, all this. Hi, Anitra. Hi, Florence. Wow, good to see you guys. So if they're working on their online business, the focus isn't on accomplishments, but what they fail to achieve instead. And this is even more prevalent in people who have it rough, right? It's so much easier to be upset about the bad things happening to you than to be grateful for the good. But to be truly happy, you have to be able to appreciate the things that are going right. Focusing too much on the negative aspects of your life negatively affects you and the people around you. And you'll be in a perpetual state of gloom if gloom is all you ever know. There's no way to effectively work. You just can't work towards your goals if you're stuck in negativity. It just doesn't work. You can't even begin to fix what's going wrong in your life if you're focusing too much on what's going wrong, because you're not even going to know where to begin if that's all you know. You don't know how to make it right, how to make it good. So instead, dedicate your life and your energy towards appreciating the positive aspects of your life. So even though things are really bad for some people right now, with this pandemic going on, I get it. Things are bad. People are out of work. Some people are wondering where their next meal is going to come from. I know that it's really bad, but there are some good things too if you look hard enough. We should take more time to appreciate the things in our life that are going right. Think about what you have that others would be desperate for, whether it's a house or a car or a job or maybe even a family. Just having a car right now, I know people that don't have a car that are trying to figure out in this social distancing time how they're going to get around, or they have to walk a lot farther because you can't really take a bus, so just be thankful for the things that you do have. And even just living in a first world country is a great benefit. It could be worse. We could live in the slums in India, right? So instead of focusing on how much you hate your boss and wish you could leave it to pursue an online business, think about how wonderful it is to have a source of income as you work on the side to build your entrepreneurial dream and build your business on the side alongside your job, because many people aren't so fortunate. Or if you're having to stay home because of the pandemic, think about all the time that you're able to spend with your kids and your spouse right now. My friend Ross made a post on Facebook yesterday. Ross, if you're listening to this, thank you. You gave me the motivation for this for my live today. And this was just really profound. But it was a child talking to his 81-year-old grandpa and asking him about the coronavirus. So I'm going to read it to you because I thought it was so profound. So the child is like, this is in the future, obviously. The child is like, how old are you, Grandpa? And Grandpa's like, I'm 81, dear. And the child says, so does that mean you were alive during the coronavirus? And he's like, yeah, I was. And the child says, wow, that must have been horrible, Grandpa. We were learning about that at school this week. They told us about how all the schools were closed and moms and dads couldn't go to work, so they didn't have as much money to do nice things. They said you weren't allowed to go and visit your friends and family, and you couldn't go out anywhere. They told us that the shops and stores ran out of a lot of things, so you didn't have much bread or flour or toilet paper. And they said summer holidays were canceled. And they told us about all those thousands and thousands of people who got very sick and died. And they explained how hard the doctors and the nurses and all the essential workers worked, and that lots of them died too. That must have been so horrible, Grandpa. And Grandpa says, well, that is all correct. You're right. And I know that because I read it when I was older. But to tell you the truth, I remember it differently. I remember playing in the garden for hours with Mom and Dad and having picnics outside and lots of barbecues. I remember making things and fishing with my dad and baking with my mom. I remember making forts and learning how to do handstands and backflips. I remember having quality time with my family. I remember mom's favorite words being, "Hey, I've got an idea." And, rather than later, I remember it being, "Hey, maybe later or tomorrow, I'm a bit busy." Right? So I remember making our own bread and pastry. I remember having movie night 3 or 4 nights a week instead of just one. It was a horrible time for lots of people, you're right, but I remember it differently. So remember how your children are going to remember these times. Be in control of the memories that they're creating right now so that through all these awful headlines and emotional stories that for so many that they will come to read in the future years, they also can remember the happy times. Isn't that profound? And then you know what? You can remember those happy times too. Anitra says, me too. Yeah. Oh, she's talking about having not been able to drive. Yeah. Staying home and working on baby blankets and other projects that coincide with my business. That's cool. See? So when you focus more on the things that are going right in your life, you make it much easier to work towards your goals. When you appreciate the things that are going right, it gives you a greater drive to accomplish your goals because you know the feeling of success and you want more of it. It also gives you the chance to really enjoy and appreciate those things that are going right. Yeah, things suck, but there are things that are going right, right? And when you focus too much on the negative, you don't get that drive to change your life for the better. Even your friends and family will feel the effects of your positivity. By seeing your upbeat attitude, they're going to be inspired to follow in your footsteps. So you create more. Like if you smile at somebody, they smile at you, right? And so if you have an upbeat attitude, you're going to create more of that in the people around you. And by doing this, you can feel more accomplished by having contributed positively to their lives. So learn to take time to appreciate what's right, and you'll find out you have more positive experiences. So, hey, that's what I have. Now I'd love to hear from you. What are you grateful for today? Yeah, I know things suck. I know that. But what good things are you finding in these crazy times? Please share in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for being here with me today. And thank you, Florence. Well, Florence says, I watch the grandkids. Their parents are essential workers. We ride bikes, delivering brochures, plant gardens, play outside, and read together. Hope they remember this as quality time with Grandma. They will, Florence. They will, and they're going to be that much closer to you because of it. How cool is that? You get to spend that time with them. So yeah, thanks for sharing. Thanks for being live with me, Anitra and Florence, and that's it. And so anybody else who might be live that just hasn't said anything, and thank you to all those who are watching the replay, and I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.